Yeah, guys, I'm here to give you a quick update. It's good for you to be aware that the 7th Abia State House of Assembly members, their tenure will expire by tomorrow, 10th June 2023. Because of that, the current Speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Engineer Chinedum Orji, called for a media interaction with media professionals in Abia State. I was one of the journalists who was there during the interaction. It's an interesting one. Several questions were asked. He seems to have answered very frankly. It's up to you to make up your mind. The next video you'll be seeing is the full video of that interaction, which is about 1 hour interaction. Please, the only way, what I want you to do for me now is to subscribe on our YouTube handle. This YouTube is AF Television. Subscribe so that you can be getting notification of all our content. My name is Emenike Rebu, the anchor of this brief show. Thank you. Akoka Abia.
We're always excited each time that we are coming to see you, because we know that you have something very most expedient to tell us and to our audience. So thank you once again. Mr. Speaker, all through this time, you had the mantle and led the 7th Abia State House of Assembly. Can you tell us how palatable your experience in the House has been?
Thank you, Right. It's been a very great honor to serve your state, in whatever capacity. So to serve Abia as a speaker was an honor. It wasn't a right. It can never be a right. It was an honor and a privilege. And I tried the best I can to make something out of that privilege. If not for that opportunity and that privilege, most of you would have gone home with wrong impressions about my person. So apart from contributing my own quota in lawmaking and all that, was an honor to serve the state. The other part of which you wanted to know is all has to do with politics, and we will deal with that as we go on. So for me, there's no regret serving the state as a speaker of the House of Assembly, be it palatable or palatable. It was an honor, it was a privilege. The other ones are secondary. Thank you.
What was your greatest achievement in the House?
Well, the greatest achievement unknown to most Abia was the peace that we were able to foster on the state despite pressures. Secondly, to be able to enact 2 or 3 memorable laws for the betterment of our dear state. All that is needed is the willpower to implement those laws. It is not our responsibility to implement laws, our duty to make laws. It is the duty of the executive to implement the laws. Ours also is check and balances. Then the judiciary, you know their role in any democracy. So we, under our leadership, we were able to enact some good laws, which is our primary function. The primary function of a legislator is to make laws. Your duty is not to build roads. Your duty is to ensure that your road is crossing your constituency is put in the budget. So every other thing that the legislature does, like provision of water, school, or whatever, is all in the line of trying to get votes and being in tune with those that voted him into power. Thank you.
Okay.
Next question.
Obviously, it was not all.
Sit down, please.
Okay. It was not all rosy for you, and apart from the drama we had towards the end, there were some other challenges. Could you let us know some of those challenges you had in superintending on the affairs of the 7th Abia State House of Assembly?
Well, one of the biggest challenges was having to navigate the politics of the state, the assembly, vis-a-vis our relationship with the executive. Some people made it a point of duty to ensure that that relationship was broken down for some selfish reasons. Under that assembly, when we started, you saw that salaries were being paid as at the 25th of every month because we stepped in. ABSU, polytechnics, and some of these were getting the subvention within that period that the late Professor Kone was visa. The records are there for you to go and check. Civil servants were paid by 25th of every month because we had the will to help the executive. We are not in competition with the executive. Maybe because of my person and where I'm coming from, they saw me as a competition. Anything that is done in the House of Assembly was misinterpreted to mean a challenge to the incumbent then. So that affected the relationship and the workings of that house, because a lot of propaganda and blackmail now set in that made that will, that resolve to be weakened. Not on a personal note that I decided that it be weakened, but with executive interference to some of those, because I know that we could pay salaries by 25th of every month, and it happened under the watch of the House of Assembly, because we summoned the relevant people, we threatened them that they must help the governor to succeed, and it happened. You guys noticed that it happened. It wasn't rocket science, but somewhere along the line, all of you knew what transpired and how we got to where we were. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
If you had the opportunity of going back, would you change anything while piloting the affairs of the assembly?
Yes, maybe I would have been more, I would have removed some level of sentiment from my decisions, irrespective of whose ox is God.
Okay.
I would have removed sentiment from what, from some of my actions, because applying sentiment, friendship to your job does not make sense. It makes you take the wrong decisions. Maybe some of the actions, or some of the decisions we took in the executive session ought to have been made public. Because you have 2 sessions in the House of Assembly, both perfectly legal. You have the plenary session, you have the executive session. before you go to the plenary, you take decisions at the executive session. The whole members will sit down. If it's a bill we want to discuss, we'll discuss it there so that you don't have infighting at the chamber. We don't disgrace ourselves at the chamber by a lot of arguments. So that is how the house is structured. So yes, we would have removed the element of sentiment in taking some certain decisions and taking those decisions no matter whose oxes was God. Thank you.
So, sir, should we say that that is one of your regrets, or indeed do you have? Any
I've just
regrets?
said it, yes.
Yes.
Am I ashamed to say it?
Yes. So, as a follow-up, sir,
Yeah.
you said one of the achievements you had was a peace that was enjoyed in the 7th house. Would you say your relationship or the relationship you had with the executive contributed to that, and how? Yes.
I wouldn't say it was a relationship. You guys knew my involvement prior to 2015 election. You don't build a house and then you go ahead to destroy it. I tried all I could to ensure, no matter what, that house that we collectively built, not only one person, a lot of great Abians contributed to that. That house that we collectively built, I would not go ahead to destroy it because of some few individuals. That's what I mean. Because anything that you do will be misconstrued. It means that you are fighting the incumbent. And a lot of propaganda will be raised. Was that done to your father when he was governor? Was that done to your father when he was governor? That was one of the things that was put in my face all the time. Anything that didn't happen when he was governor cannot happen now. We told you that everything that happened when Senator Tio and Joseph Carlo, everything that happened then was perfect. You continue to evolve and perfect whatever actions that you can't say that every decision that he took, the former governor took as a governor, was a perfect decision. So you learn from it. But in our own case, it was a matter of blackmail and blackmail, and we tried as much as possible to curtail that level of blackmail until they got out of hand, which was a drama, the petty drama you guys noticed prior to today. Thank you.
So could you have been avoided the last-minute drama that almost blighted all that?
I think that question, whenever you see the former governor, you direct that question to him. I'm not in a position to answer that question. He is the one that should answer the question, not me.
Okay, Mr. Speaker. Let's look at one of the key jobs of the legislator, which is oversight functions. Would you say that during this your term that you guys actually carried out oversight function properly?
I just mentioned one of them here. If we did not engage in oversight, how would salaries have been paid by the 25th of every month? How? If we didn't carry out our proper oversight functions. The fact was that most of the functions of the legislature is, and like I told you, sentiments and all the rest of it got involved in it. If it's about, did you carry out your oversight? Yes. If you didn't carry out your oversight, some of those committee reports from all those committees set up, we will not be reading it out publicly, where infractions by the executive were read out publicly on the floor of the house. Your oversight shouldn't only be when you are physically abusing or threatening to impeach, remove, or it shouldn't be that. When you come to our executive, our plenary session, you will agree with me that for those that observe us from the gallery, when a committee presents its report, they make recommendations, and in that recommendations, you will now notice where that particular committee now mentioned those infractions committed by the executive. But because it's not about fighting, people expect you to come out and start abusing the governor, start abusing this person, start abusing this person. Maybe you guys don't notice that. So that's it. We did our oversight function within the best of our ability. Thank you.
So sir, are you saying that you try as much as you can to use your powers as the Speaker of the House of Assembly to support the missions of the executive?
To support what?
The missions or the policies of the executive arm of the government during your time?
Of course. That was the PDP government. I am PDP. The PDP-led government then will bring bills, that they want passed into law. And it goes through the majority leader. And it's our responsibility to look at those bills, treat it, and pass it into law, and send it back to them for assent. So it's my responsibility to work with the government, and it's not the House of Assembly or the legislature is not an opposition. It's not supposed to be in direct opposition to the executive, especially when the head there is on the same party with the governor. You are not supposed to. Maybe that is why you people call the house a rubber stamp. There's nothing like rubber stamp. There's nothing like rubber stamp. Because that thing that will cause trouble, you go and discuss it with the governor. If the governor now fails to do his own part of what is expected of him, that is now when there will be crisis and conflict in the House of Assembly. Period.
One of the issues, or some of the issues, Abians are raising concerns about the past administration in Abia State was issues concerning the salaries and pensions. Was the House brought into fore the reasons why the state was not constant in paying salaries?
I just told you something here, that when we started at the beginning of our tenure, salaries were paid on the 25th of every month. You knew about it. Why? Because we summoned the Commissioner for Finance, summoned the Accountant General, even summoned those of them in the banks, and those that were in the salary committee, and we threatened that they should try to do the needful before the 25th of every month. If not, we will embarrass them. That they should try as much as possible to help the government to succeed. That is the work of the House of Assembly. And we did it without even any prompting from the executive. But you know what happened eventually. We were accused that we formed a parallel government house in that place and all the rest of it. But we still tried as much as we could until the situation was beyond our immediate control, because we are not the approving authority. What we do is to sanction whatever request that you bring and to monitor what you do with it. I don't have the approval to say pay this person, pay this. None of us do. So we did what we were supposed to do. In our report from the public accounts, we mentioned that emphasis should be placed on reducing. It's not a matter of payment or you can owe because you have some drop in your inflow, but when it increases, you make up and clear it. So we did what we were supposed to do within the limit of what the powers guaranteed us by the Constitution. But the one we didn't do was to engage in physical fight to please people out there that we are really fighting the executive. I didn't want that type of relationship, even though some people in the executive wanted it that way.
So, sir, you'll be taking a bow, at least officially tomorrow. Would you say,
10th.
yeah, 10th, would you say you've achieved, or you did set out to achieve when you met the Speaker of the 7th House?
Well, no politician can tell you that he achieved all. It's not possible. For me, I will rate myself and my colleagues. I will score us. I think 60% will be good. If we score ourselves 60-65%, I will score myself 90%. We score ourselves between 60 and 70%. Now we set our goal. Any politician that comes here to tell you that he achieved all is just wasting his time. It's not possible. I like to be frank. Maybe that's why I don't grant too many interviews, because I'm frank. I don't know how to hide. So, in terms of setting out what did we achieve, what we set out to do, I would say that it is between 60-70% what we set out to do. At least I can comfortably say that I've lived up to the advice that my father gave me. And what was that? Leave that place better than you met it. So I would say that my colleagues, irrespective of their whatever behavior you must have noticed in some of them, I think that this assembly left that place better than we met it. At least we know what we met as at the time we took over. We improved on what we met. So it is left for the new person that will become the speaker to improve both physically, infrastructurally, what is there. At least that person does not need to start doing massive renovation of the assembly complex. All he needs to do is to amend here and there and make it more befitting.
Yeah, speaking about the speaker, the curtain is gradually drawing on the 7th House. And we hear rumors about succession plans and succession tussles.
Yes.
What's the position of the law? What does the House rule say about who becomes the speaker?
Well, the House rule that is before me is very explicit on that. It's there in the law. I didn't make it. It's there. And it's a rule that is subject to change. But because some people wanted to change the rule without Mr. Speaker's consent, I said that rule cannot be changed. As far as I remain the Speaker of that House of Assembly, it will never be changed. if you need that rule change, you ask me nicely. You need to ask me nicely. Then we'll discuss as adults. Not going behind me to induce some people to come and change the rule for personal interest. I will not do that. And I think that that is, you will count it as one of my greatest achievements. To have resisted some emergency cabals that wanted to try their boss. Because I remain their bosses. I remain their boss. Despite the money they claim they have. So if you need to do something, ask me nicely. Then we can discuss it, because this is politics. So that is what the law says. And as I'm handing over, signing off, I am signing off with that particular rule book. No is or was amended. So it is left for the two gentlemen sitting by my side that will transit to the 8th Assembly to do whatever they want to do. For me, I have signed off. I can never go back to the House of Assembly. That one is a phase, it has gone. Nothing will make me to contest election to be a House member until I die. So that's it.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, there is this allegation that when some commissioners come for clearance, they are taxed to pay some amount of money. It's been rumored everywhere. Mm-hmm. How true is those rumors?
Did they give you the receipt? If you collect money from somebody now, they will give, you'll be issued with a receipt. Mm-hmm. Was there any receipt issued?
None that I saw, I've seen.
Did you see any receipt?
I have not seen anyone.
No problem. Do they also tell you that most of them come there with fake credentials? Do they tell you that?
You
want me to mention names here?
Please do.
I will not. Most of them come there with fake degrees and whatever. But they will be the first to go out and tell you that they demanded this and demanded that and demanded that. If they tell you that, please ask them that they should bring the receipt with which the House of Assembly issued to them to collect such money from them. Period. Thank you.
Okay. What is next for you, sir?
What is next for me? Like I told you, that was what I started by telling you. Some people don't know that we have second address. I have a second address. Look at me now, I'm looking better than when you saw me 6 months ago. I have a second address, just like this address and the other address. So politics is not a do or die affair. We are not blaming anybody. It's an election. It has come. It has gone. A lot of people are regretting some actions and whatever that it is. It's politics. Don't blame anybody. Everybody played their role, both good and bad. They played their role. So next for me is organize my life, give more attention to the family, and I will take it up from there. I do or die affair at all.
Would you remain with the PDP, sir?
Sir?
Would you remain with the PDP? Any plans?
Will I remain with what?
The PDP.
As I know, I'm still a PDP member. As at this afternoon, I'm still a PDP member.
Any possibility of moving, sir?
Moving to where?
Any
you want
other
me to
party?
speak like Wiki? Where do you want me to go to? Of course, I'm a politician. If somebody approaches me tomorrow with a better offer, I'll look into it.
So they'll sign you off.
If another party approaches me tomorrow, we will look at it, but this time around, we will discuss it. You don't do politics of sentiment anymore. It never worked. It didn't work. It didn't work for me in 2015. I don't intend to go that route again. Politics of sentiment, no. It should be politics of ideas. politics of capacity. Thank you.
So please, could you please make open one or two things you can look at or tag your indelible footprint as one who represented your constituency?
I don't even need to answer that question because you live very close to my constituency. In 2015, you know how difficult it is for an exiting governor to win election, and on top of it, the son also won election. That election that I won brought me back to reality. I now had to do things that my constituents liked, and that is provision of basic needs that are not within my purview to do, but you need to do it. Because these days you will understand that the electorate do not know how to distinguish between a governor, a senator, or a speaker. If you're a speaker, you're expected to tar roads. If you're a senator, you're expected to do roads. And they are not wrong anyway, because as a speaker, you're supposed to attract road from the executive. As a senator, you're supposed to attract, make sure it's in the budget. And as a governor, it's your job. If you do a road, nobody needs to thank you. It's your job you're doing. Payment of salary is your job. Road, water, electricity is your job. That's why you were elected. So I think it's better you ask that question to my constituents, because I am very sorry for the person that will take over from me, even though he's not from the party that I belong to now. But I'm very sorry for him, because the shoes, he has already said it, the shoes are too big for him to fill. All I did was to call him and congratulate him and tell him that it's better for you to hit the ground running, because these same people praising you today, most of them don't even know you. They voted for you. They don't know you. They voted for you. By December, by December, it will be a different ball game. So by that time, that miracle that is expected from you, when it's no more happening, then you'll be shocked at what those people that voted for you will be saying about you. So that's my...
Mr. Speaker, in 2016, you made a statement. You said you don't want to be that person who will fly on the wings of your father.
Yes.
That you want to work so hard to gain the trust of Abia youth. That was what you said in 2016. Before then, you were so visible in youth empowerment during your father's reign.
Yes.
And now, you are leaving office. Now you're leaving office.
Yes.
Are you going to back or turn your back against the same youth that gave you the nomenclature Ezumo Kurobi? Because you are leaving the terrain of politics, though not in pen, but not as an office holder. Don't you think these young people would need you more now?
Yes, of course. But you are used to asking questions. Let me ask you before I answer you. If they mention that name, Chinedum Orji, to you now, as a person, they mention it to you now, what readily comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Is it the son of Senator Orji, or speaker, politician, or what? Which one comes to your mind first?
Personally, what comes to my mind when I hear Chinedum Orji? The next thing that comes to my mind is the name Ikuku. And that Ikuku I hear from the mouth of young people too.
Mm-hmm.
So I see you as a friend to the youth.
Good.
Not only the numerous amenities which you had provided to the people of Omahano.
No, you have answered
Omahano
that question. You know why I wanted you to answer that question? For most of you here now, when you hear that name, the first thing that comes to your mind is Ikuku as politician, speaker. Before you now start talking about the son of the former governor. Answering your question, that has always been my mindset. My father provided that platform. He provided the platform. What you do with that platform is now your business. It's your problem. Are you going to destroy it? Are you going to grow it? And one of the ways of growing it is by being close to people, especially the women and the youth. You do not intimidate them that your name is this, your son of this, your son of that. We are Igbos, we are not intimidated by that. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't use that template if you want to be a good politician here. So I will say that I have achieved that. Only that you know in this our climb, you cannot completely remove the issue of petty jealousy, envy, and all those. There is no way, second part of your question, there is no way some of us can turn our back to those youths. It's not possible. The difference is that some people claim that they can do better than Ikuku. So it's better you remain silent for a while and let them do that stuff that Ikuku does. Even with all the money they have scattered away, do it, let us see. One thing is to be comfortable, another thing is to have the mind to make another person to be comfortable. They are two different things. So there is no way we can abandon those people, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not ready to quit politics today or tomorrow. I will still be here, whether anybody likes it or not. We want to contest election within this our territory, Abia Center. Umaya not. Even if my worst enemy advises you not to consult me, well, you do that at your own private problem. When the result comes out, it's not only me that can be betrayed. It's not only me. You go to election and people that you were dining with in the night, by 7 o'clock in the morning, they are singing another tune. It's a very dangerous tactics if anybody wants to apply that. So we will not abandon them. There's no way we will abandon them. But only this time around, we have to be extremely careful to identify the very genuine ones. We have learned a lot within this period. Identify those that love you genuinely, not those that because of what they get from you, once they don't get that thing from you, you are no more of any consequence. I have a lot of those kind of people milling around the whole place. There are plenty of them from 2015 till date. So don't be scared, my devil. If we don't get involved, the street will be hot, and you know you're a street man.
Okay, actually, from me, as one who covered House of Assembly throughout your tenure, these are some of the laws we passed: female rights to inherit properties, the violence against persons prohibition law. First Assembly, yours was the first to pass the 5th alteration in amendment to the Constitution law. Then First Assembly also to pass the Nigeria in Diaspora Commission law, and then that of people living with disabilities. These are laws that affected the masses, women, females. So how does achieving this feat make you feel?
It wasn't achieved by me only, it was achieved by my colleagues. No matter how they turned out eventually, the other 23 members was achieved. You have forgotten one of the important ones. Abia State House of Assembly was the first House of Assembly that passed the local government autonomy bill. We ratified it into law. The first in the entire federation, followed by Kogi State. Amongst all the achievements, to make it that local government becomes the third tier, having direct inflow of money and all the rest of it. That House of Assembly was the first, because you know there was a constitutional amendment, and those amendments were sent to each of the 36 states House of Assembly for ratification. And if any state, even if it's one state, objects, it will not fly. You know that very well, you're a journalist. So the House of Assembly, apart from these laws, I have a lot of them here. You know, I don't like to blow our own trumpet. There's a lot of I didn't go there to compete with any other speaker in passing as many laws, and you pass laws that are useful. And I'm happy that I'll continue to say that I learned from one of my predecessors, Right Honorable Martins, as speaker. As a majority leader, I watched him preside, House of Assembly. That was why when I became speaker, it was very easy for me to, because that place, when you sit there and you mess up, people like Emenike, Irego, they are there to yab you and yab you and yab you with your wrong English, with your wrong whatever. So at least I am happy that I didn't disgrace any of you guys throughout my tenure as speaker. I represented you people very well. I was a speaker with a swag. With some level of taste and whatever that I do. And I just wish that the next speaker of the House of Assembly will be better than me. And he will do better, much more better than me. So that tomorrow when I go back to that House of Assembly, I will see the place changed, like the way you noticed it changed. New structures, well-kept environment, very good ambience. That's what I want to see. Thank you.
Okay, sir. On a softer note, one of your last appearances, which I consider as auspicious, is your appearance at the Umuahia Township Stadium on the 29th of May, where Governor Alex Oti was inaugurated. I saw you and I told one of my colleagues who is taller than me to help me confirm whether you were the one. He said he's not sure. I should not put in my story that you were there. This is what actually played out, and then that's why I'm bringing up this question now. How does that? Number one, what informed your decision to come for that inauguration, and how does that describe you as a politician?
When you have a governor-elect that wrote to you, extended invitation to you in another party to please come and witness his inauguration. When you have a governor-elect reaching out to one of his predecessors, who happens to be back, to please come and be a guest in his inauguration. If you were in my shoes, what would you do?
I wanted the invitation.
You wanted the invitation? Yeah. Is it about politics or about the state?
About the state.
Good. Let me tell you something, my dear brother. The days of Chinedum Orji fighting other people's war, they're over. If you want to fight anybody, come out and do the fight yourself. Come and do that fight yourself. Don't hide under anybody. Don't hide under anybody. I fought the present governor twice. In 2015 and in 2019. You all know that. At the end of the day, who told you that those people that I was fighting for did not reach out to those people that I fought? Who told you? All the people that were at enmity with in 2015, where did the former governor not go behind and reconcile with them? Did he go and reconcile with them? So why must my own be a topic? Did he not visit Tinubu yesterday? Have you people killed him? So it's a season of do me, I do you. So if you have visited, I will come here and start fighting. I know where I will come here and start fighting. I went there out of court, and immediately he was inaugurated as governor. I left. They see me and I left. And since that time, he has been naming all those people that work with him. Did you see my name there? Did you see my relation's name there? Did you see any person close to me there? But a lot of propaganda will be there. You gave millions to him, you did this, you did that. When you are busy hobnobbing with my enemy in the night, sponsoring my opponent in the night, then I decide to be a statesman, and you have an issue with that. But you are sponsoring my opponent, and you want me to continue fighting your enemies for you, so that when I fight and you win, you go by 2 a.m. invite him. You invite him in the place, reconcile with him, tell him how cantankerous that boy is. He's always fighting, he's always doing it. I didn't send him, I didn't do this. All those Gamji don't pass. Those Gamji period don't pass. All those Gamji period don't pass. So if you want to fight. Come out and do your fight. If you fight me directly, I'll fight you directly. I'm a man. I'm not afraid of that. But for me to come and start doing your fight in proxy while you keep quiet, I will not do that. So don't be surprised. It's about Abia State. It's like asking some of our colleagues that will be returning to the house as PDP members whether they will go out there and start fighting the new governor. To me, my advice to them is don't, but you be principled and firm. You don't go there to every decision you say you don't agree. Every decision you don't agree. No, but you be principled. You be principled. If they are not getting it right, you tell them they are not getting it right. That's yourself from fire. So tell that person, go and push that story. It's me. You saw live and direct. I was there. I was there. We took all the heat that the governor said that day. You understand me? We took it like a man. We were Yes, how would I smile? How would I smile? When I was invited and you were busy dismembering PDP right in front of me there, I will not be happy now. I need to frown my face. But I took it like a man. I took it like a man. And Ochendo also, and he's a statesman now. He's another statesman. So I don't think there's anything wrong in it. My good friend, the new governor of Kogi State, invited me, pleaded with me. My very good friend, the governor of Delta State, invited me, sent invitation packages straight to me here with accommodation. But I said, how will people feel when they see me in those places? It will mean that we are starting off fight here also. The state will not have peace. Because anything I do is always misinterpreted one way or the other. So I decided to be a statesman. Forget our age, I'm now a statesman. I'm not a stakeholder. So I decided to just go there, take the heat, and I went there, took the heat, and left. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please, let's, I think after we'll take 2 more questions so that we can round up this.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Speaker.
All right, Mr. Speaker, sir. Yeah, so I'm a little curious. I know you've said elections have come and gone, and then nobody should be blamed for anything, the outcome. But I'm curious, and I would like for you to satisfy my curiosity. Do you have a sense of betrayal? Do you think you were betrayed over the outcome of the elections, the just completed elections? And that's on the one side. With regards to your achievements as a Speaker of the Abia House, it was during your advance that we had the Abia budget being passed during the early days of a new calendar year. I think on the 1st or thereabouts.
31st.
Okay, 31st.
December.
Yeah. So how were you able to navigate that? How easy was that to navigate?
Let me start from the second question. Like I said, any achievement attributed to my speakership is to the other 23 members. I told you, irrespective of their recent behavior, of some of them, because it wasn't like that before. Something triggered it. It was also part of our effort not to frustrate the executive. That for 4 years, it is on record, even my own father did not enjoy that privilege as a governor. It was on record that under this 7th Assembly, 4 years, with my good friend here as the majority leader and all the rest, with the deputy speaker here then as a member, we passed the budget on or before the 31st of December for 4 years. Why? Because there were funds granted for doing such. And those funds were also assessed. So it's our job that we are doing. Because if we don't do it, the state will lose that fund that is supposed to be used for developmental purposes. So I beat my chest to say that we did our job. It's not about damning us rubber stamp. That's not it. If you don't pass the budget, right, then you lose that grant. Secondly, then when it gets to the new, every decision of the governor will be subject to House ratification, because he has some few days before any other thing he does becomes illegal. You know the problem that they had in Abuja over this issue, and some time budgets were passed in March, April, but we never had that issue here. We also had that issue here in the first term. We had it in the previous governments, because that is one of the ways the House members do their own oversight. They need to scrutinize that budget very well. So, on that note, I say we, the members of that assembly, will try our best.
On the final note, sir. On
The second
On the second issue of was I betrayed? Both of them here were betrayed, just like me. But they were, will I say they were smarter? Didn't leave any stone unturned. You understand me? For every election, you must experience betrayal. But like I told you previously, it's not something you whine about. It's not something you whine about. After all, from 1999 to date, I have been actively involved in the politics of this state. I've never lost an election. Never have I lost any election, except in 2023. So, and losing the election, you know what happened in Omaya South. You know what happened in the Abia. It's not what we start saying here. All those things, I don't like discussing the matter that is in court. So let's leave it as it is. But it's not something you continue whining about or blaming. No, you can't blame anybody. The only thing that you do now is that you need to be very careful in the kind of friends you keep. You need to be careful those that you grant favors to. You need to be extremely careful. I don't want to talk about my relationship with former governor here, because I'm well trained. My father will not be happy if he hears that I'm abusing the succession in office and as a former governor. So I don't want to do that. And out of respect for my brother that is there also. So I decided that I won't talk about my personal relationship with the former governor in terms of the question that you asked. But unknown to all of you, I've started writing my book. I finished the first chapter. And in that book, I will say it all. Everything that you need to know. I will start from 1999. The little that I know, because I wasn't too much involved in the government of my father's benefactor then. But I will concentrate from 2013, build up to the 2015 election. How I met those that I met. My role with evidence. With evidence. If I tell you this, I will attach evidence. So anybody that is not happy with that book should go to court. When I finish it, I'll launch it. If you're not comfortable with the content of the book, go to court. So that is all I can tell you for now. So I will not be tempted to come and start joining issues with the executive or the governor or whatever. Just be patient and wait for the book when I finish it.
Okay, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
It will not be fair that at the end of the day, we don't straighten up the issue of the crisis that broke out in the House of Assembly just towards the end of this your tenure. And based on a press release that was made available by CPS, he made us know that some members who were suspended by the House the suspension have been lifted. But what happened in respect to your former Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly? You didn't find it, or you guys didn't find it okay to restate him?
Amen.
Speaker.
When you plot a coup and the coup fails, what are the consequences?
If it's in the military era, it's death, of course.
Good. Let me just say this a little. Whatever happened within that period was orchestrated by the executive. I warned my colleagues that these are all politics, but they didn't, some of them, they didn't listen. Like I said, I don't want to be tempted to start talking about the format of it. Don't push me to, I don't want to go there for now. Wait for the book. But what I'm saying, in effect, is that I discussed with him, just on the flip side, and I told him that I'm ready for peace on one condition, that I will not preside with the former Deputy Speaker. He agreed. I said no problem, that he should leave the quarters. He told me face to face, let him come out and disprove this. But I should leave the vehicle for him. I should leave the vehicle for him, but he should pack out for me. And I did exactly that. Within the period that my brother served as deputy, I used my own backup haylocks and gave to him, but left the haylocks, his official patrol, whatever, for him, based on agreement with the former governor. He told me also that if it were him, that he would not agree. If somebody went on a coup against him and didn't succeed, they should suffer the consequences. I am quoting him directly. Even though that as a governor he has some influence in the House of Assembly, I obliged him that. And I told him that the other members, that we will record them, so that they will not live with the stigma of being suspended from the House of Assembly. And I did that also. And still stuck to my gun that this is the person that is the Deputy Speaker voted by. So that is the only way you have confusion, and I've cleared you on that. I have a document also written to him by the clerk of the House, informing him of his new status and the need for him to back out of the official orders. And you know what that means. You know what that letter means. I didn't bother when we went to court, because the Federal High Court does not have jurisdiction over that. You wait when the State High Court resumes. You go to court, I'll find my own. I'll pursue the matter to the logical conclusion. I don't have any issues with the other members. Whatever role anybody plays, it's all in the business of politics. The only place I have issue is that I said that I will not preside with somebody. We will now have 2 nights. If this one doesn't penetrate, he will do the other one. So that is the reason why it seems as if the matter.
Beautiful session. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, sir, for your time. Dear colleagues, thank you also for coming. So please, we expect very good reportage.